It's been a month and a half since we talked about Jeremiah Smith, so it's about time that we do it again on the podcast daily. Thanks for joining us. We're outside the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. It is a Wednesday. That's Bill Landis, Jeremy Birmingham. I'm Austin Ward. And Bill, we're standing on the 50. Camp winds down on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Mm-hmm. One Ohio State player was just getting a line of people to come get pictures taken, and you posed this question.
Is it possible that Jeremiah Smith becomes, like, and I don't even know how you would quantify it, but like the most famous Ohio State player, like while he's in college?
It's certainly possible. I
like most famous college football, like player in college football, like while he's here.
I mean, if Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter weren't in college football right now, I would argue he would maybe by week 3 already be in that conversation.
Oh, come on.
Like
I really think he's got a chance to like capture the imagination of the like, because it's kids.
Yeah,
kids love Jeremiah Smith
because I've watched him. And he is one.
Right.
He's not supposed to be here. I mean, I was told on Tuesday morning that he ran 23.18 miles per hour on the practice, like the workout field on Tuesday morning. That's obscene at 6'4", 218 pounds as an 18-year-old.
That's a full mile an hour faster than Marv last year on that touchdown, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Then that also captivated the attention of the country.
The only thing that I heard then after that was the only guy they've ever seen like this is Percy Harvin. They don't know what to do with him. He's so much better.
Here's the ball.
You're really narrowing down who told you this information. If you're saying that it also happened at Florida.
It's so
Tebow was here tonight.
It's so ridiculous. But no, to your point, when you see the kids out here after camp, like Brody Keefe, a 2026 wide receiver from North Carolina who's had an Ohio State offer for over a year. He's got a lot of big offers. He's walking off the field. His mom said, "There's JJ. Go get a picture with JJ." Like he is famous. He is kid famous.
That is what did it. Like maybe it's happened and I missed it or don't remember it, but I cannot recall a player garnering that kind of attention from like campers in a setting like this or really anywhere else before he's ever taken a college snap. Like that to me is what felt different.
I think he is unique because he is the first true 7-on-7 superstar.
Yes, I think that. Yeah, I agree.
And that is not something that 7-on-7 football has been played a long time, and it's taken on a life of its own in the national media in the last 4 or 5 years. And Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis, those guys are all on the mixtapes and stuff when they were younger. But JJ Smith was he's the first 7-on-7 Hall of Fame, instant induction to the Hall of Fame guy. He's been doing this since he was a freshman in high school, and everyone in the country who plays 7-on-7 ball, which is now most kids. Thank Ohio, good job. Welcome to the party. They know who he is. They've seen him play for 5 years. Those kids have a way better understanding of how good he is than most people in the college football media do.
This may get into how difficult it is to quantify. Everything that you both said, I don't dispute in any way, shape, or form. It is all 100% true. Everyone who watches the podcast daily has already heard us talk about what we saw from Jeremiah Smith plenty throughout the spring. This will not be news to them. I occasionally make some appearances on other media that potentially speak to a more casual part of the fan base. And I was asked recently, is Jeremiah Smith a redshirt candidate or is he going to play? So my point to bring that up is, if you're talking about most famous player in college football, now you're going to have to tap into the people who, believe it or not, even in the Ohio State fan base, may still not have heard of him.
That's what I'm saying, week 3, because he will be, at that point, have played 2 games as wide receiver number 1 at Ohio State as a true freshman. And the casuals will be like, did you see this? Yeah. This kid he just turned 18 and a half, and he's lining up as the starting X receiver for Ohio State in the season opener?
You don't think Emeka is going to do some things that...
He's going to do great things.
I think Emeka is going to be awesome. It doesn't have to come
going to be better.
No. Again, we've created an argument that's not real, but if we're saying that he's the most famous player in college football and most famous player at Ohio State, then yes, it would have to come at the expense of Emeka.
No, because I don't think it has. I didn't say it has to happen this year.
I know you didn't, but Berm said by week 3. So I'm looking at you, but I'm arguing with him.
I mean, at a certain point in his career, he was going to reach a level of fame within college football that we have not seen from an Ohio State player.
Yeah, well,
Marv's pretty close.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like Marv was great. Like Justin Fields is right there.
Zeke
like,
was pretty close.
Zeke was definitely there.
Joey Bosa was pretty close.
100%.
Chase Young, pretty close.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah.
But that's also, that level of fame requires getting to New York City, like the people that you mentioned and Chase Young. And I'm not here to say he definitely can't do that, because we're seeing insanely freakish things from him in the practice field and the work ethic and the measurables that are coming up. He's going to be on the freaks list, I'm sure, when Bruce Feldman does those. So like that, I recognize fully, and I'm not disputing all those things, but we still haven't seen him play an actual game. Okay. I would like to do that.
Yeah.
I'm on board with the hype.
That seems fair.
But it also took like all things going right for several years. Marvin Harrison Jr. also came in with a built-in brand name thanks to a Hall of Fame dad, and then still had to carry it through and do things that were off the charts statistically to reach that level. And he still wasn't the most famous player in college football last year, thanks to Caleb Williams. He was close. He was in the top handful conversation. But I think it is a worthy conversation that we're having. I clearly wouldn't have brought it up as a topic for the podcast daily if I didn't think that there was a chance it could happen. So I'm glad you said it. I'm glad that Berm was already doing some other work to bring it up. But I guess that makes me a contrarian to say, well, I think it could happen, but I would like to maybe see August 31st.
I think we have not yet mentioned what I think would probably be the most important factor in all of this, which is the video game.
Okay. Yeah.
He's going to be, if he wants to be, he will be on the cover of that video game before his time is up at Ohio State. And I think he will quickly become a player that everyone wants to play with in the video game.
Well, what do you think? It could happen faster. Like, what do you think? Do you think EA Sports is like, you know what? We watched a lot of the podcast daily. Let's make a true freshman a 97.
No.
Because then if somebody just, like, everyone starts playing with Jeremiah Smith and like, well, let's just throw the deep ball. This kid's insanely fast.
Well, there's development, right? So he's going to start.
There's going to be, as far as I know, like downloadable roster updates that were like, if Jeremiah Smith by week 3 is doing what Berm's saying, like maybe he will be a 97.
I bet he'll be. I would imagine he's the only freshman in the country that will be in the 90s when that starts. Like, there's just things that are just unreal about him. He's not a normal human. And I was actually having other conversations on Tuesday morning about receivers who have been in town visiting over the last couple of weeks for official visits, and questions about NIL and who's getting this amount and who wants, and parents who said, well, my son is as good as JJ. And
how did that go over?
Did not go over well. People who've never seen him. This is what I'm saying. Like, Bruce Feldman's list, the freaks list that he runs for the Athletic, always sort of it exposes people like Kenneth Grant a year ago at Michigan. Like, people are like, oh, I'd never heard of this kid, and now I'm going to pay attention. He'll be on that list, and he'll be very high on it. And that's going to open that door even more. And then the video game will open that door. Like, there's an opportunity for him to be a player that everyone in the country is talking about by the time Ohio State plays at Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, I really can't argue with the points that you guys are both making. I'm just trying to stress
now, is it fair?
That the bar is incredibly high to get to, again, the points that Bill is talking about,
right.
Which is...
It's certainly not fair to him. It's certainly an expectation that is unrealistic for every other human being, but Jeremiah Smith is not a normal human being.
That's true. He's not.
You can't really...
I did see that in the spring. I'd have to concede that point as well.
Yeah, so you can't judge him based on what we've seen, even as great as Marvin is and as was here, like, and all of the other, like, if you need cousin of Geno Smith, starting quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, there you go. There's another. They'll throw that out there so people can put a little name recognition. But the thing that is the number one receiver in the country, number one player in the country, number one receiver recruit in the last 15 years, like, there's nothing about him that has been normal thus far. And so, like, to me, I'm fine with putting expectations on freshmen. I don't think it's fair to heap this amount of expectation on a normal freshman, but he's not a normal freshman. The things that people in this building say about him is not normal. Like, it is over the top, and every single one of those persons who says those things seems to indicate that they could go even further if they really wanted to stretch it.
Yeah, they're also the same people that would normally be trying to slow that down.
Right. They normally say, whatever, he's a freshman, don't worry about it.
Yeah. That's not happening. I can also have to concede that point. I'm conceding a lot of them. Like, I know that it is a fair...
I think we won, Berm. It wasn't a competition.
What? How did that happen? I said I conceded a lot of points. I didn't think I conceded the war, but maybe I did. I don't know. You guys be the judge. You let us know. I didn't win. I know that, but
I just want to be clear that Berm and I are saying two different things.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be the best receiver in college football by week 3.
I think he's the best receiver in college football right now.
Right now. I mean,
he just hasn't played it yet.
Yeah. I mean, he could be.
He just hasn't played college football yet.
Yeah.
He is the best receiver in college football who just hasn't played college football.
It could happen.
I don't know what to do with that. I've heard Berm gush about true freshmen before. And now because I did go to a 7-on-7 camp with you and watched him perform there, and it was ridiculous. I watched parts or all of 5 spring practices, and in every single one, save for the spring game, which it was kind of like he was in bubble wrap for that one, it felt like.
When Ryan Day, before a spring game, is telling the national media, we're not going to do too much with him. We just want to make sure we get into the season. Like, about a freshman, that day is the day that the freshmen are supposed to be getting their doors kicked in.
Yeah.
And supposed to be getting railroaded by the rest of the team. And still like, hey, whoa, take it easy.
Okay,
Stay away from Jeremiah.
Stay away. We got to get the starters out. That's the thing. It's like, he is a starter for this team. Like, there is no real dispute about that. I don't know. I guess I'll just hold the L. But I don't know. Week 3, Bill was saying a career. I'm closer to Bill's side here than yours.
I hope so. I realize I'm on a limb.
We all have an opportunity to be right here. That's what's most important.
Yeah.
Wow. It's not even manufactured debate. This was real, America. And thanks for joining us on the Podcast Daily for Wednesday morning at the Woody. A lot more coverage coming from camps this week. More visitors coming later in the week, so Berm will get into all that. Bill and I will have a mailbag. I think we're going to plan for Freaky Friday. So if you want to start sending those questions our way on subtext, please do. We'll get into those for a fun one, because there's also a PLE on Saturday. That's become our new barometer. Hey, it's time for a mailbag. So we'll get into all that. Again, thanks for joining us. He's Bill Landis. That's Jeremy Birmingham. I'm Austin Ward. We'll see you later.